Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome to the Leading Stars ECCE program brought to you by the Ministry of Education. I am Uncle Matthew, and I will help you to get ready for the day. I hope that you had a good breakfast and that you're ready to get started. Now, we have our circle time. We start our day with the national anthem. So, feet together, hands at your side, stand tall, and here we go. 3, 4. Very good. Now we're going to say the national pledge. We'll be saying this together. 3, 4.
I solemnly pledge to dedicate my life to the service of my God and my country. I will honor my parents, my teachers, my leaders, and my elders, and those in authority. I will be clean and honest in all my thoughts, my words, and my deeds. I will strive in everything I do to work together with my fellow men of every creed and race for the greater happiness of all and the honor and glory of my country.
Great job. Now I need you to put your hands together, close your eyes, and bow your head for us to say the school prayer. Are you ready? 3, 4.
Praise be to you, Almighty God, Creator of the universe and all that is in it. We thank you, O Father, for the opportunity which you are giving us to increase our knowledge. May your divine grace enable us to study hard and use what we learn for the good of our fellow citizens. We pray that you will free us from selfishness, lust, greed, anger, and hatred. Warm our hearts with love, fill our minds with understanding, and strengthen our will in the face of difficulties. Help us, O Father, to make our beloved country of Trinidad and Tobago the kind of place you want it to be. A place where human dignity is respected, where equal rights are accorded to all citizens, where hard work is encouraged and rewarded, and where you, O God, reign supreme.
It's time for our good morning songs. You ready to go? Let's sing along.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. We hope you have a good time today. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. We hope you have a good time today.
Good morning, preschool friends, how are you? Good morning, preschool friends, how are you? We're here to work and play, so let's start the day. Good morning, preschool friends, how are you?
you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray! Hooray! If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray! Hooray! If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray! Hooray! If you're happy and you know it, do all three. Hooray! If you're happy and you know it, do all three. Hooray! If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, do all three. Hooray!
You put your right foot in, you put your right foot out, you put your right foot in and you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. You put your left foot in, you put your left foot out, you put your left foot in and you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. You put your right hand in, you put your right hand out, you put your right hand in and you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. You put your left hand in, you put your left hand out, you put your left hand in and you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. You put your right hip in, you put your right hip out, you put your right hip in and you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. You put your left hip in, you put your left hip out, you put your left hip in and you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. You put your elbows in, you put your elbows out, you put your elbows in and you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. You put your head in, you put your head out, you put your head in and you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. You put your whole self in, you put your whole self out, you put your whole self in and you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. You put your whole self in, you put your whole self out, you put your whole self in and you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. You put your whole self in, you put your whole self out, you put your whole self in and you shake it all about. You shake it all about, you shake it all about. That's what it's all about.
Okay, so we've been standing for a while. It's time to sit down, reach deep into your pockets, take out your listening ears, and prepare for current affairs and story time. Now, you have to listen very carefully because there will be questions after. All right, let's go.
Hello, boys and girls. Today is Friday, so that means it's a fun day. Yes, boys and girls, we are going to talk about grandma. When you think about the best cooks in your life, one of the first people who might pop into your mind is your grandma. Yes, boys and girls, I think you could remember spending your time at grandma's house, watching her in the kitchen, whipping up all kinds of holiday feasts that could feed almost an army. A house is not a home until it has a kitchen garden with those fresh veggies. Yes, and all those fresh veggies makes the difference in grandma's cooking. Luckily, Grandma knew fresh shadowed Benny, picked from her garden, would be best to make a nice oil down. In addition, even if she had to make an occasional market, Grandma always knew which produce was in season and when. Grandma understood the importance of making everything by hand. She knew that the greatest cooking hacks for an amateur chef was not to cut the corners. And for your grandma, sausages weren't just something you bought by the pack. She would season the pork meat, stuff the sausages herself, and then fry them for supper. She knows how to improvise. If Grandma missed anything in her shopping, she didn't have to forego dinner just because she didn't have milk for her classic mac and cheese recipe. She already knew all of the unexpected ingredients that could go great with mac and cheese. When you open up Grandma's cupboards, you would have all these cutouts. She used leftovers. Grandma knew how to be thrifty, which is, believe it or not, one of the things that made her a great cook. She wasn't afraid to use leftovers, meat or green beans in her cooking for the next night. Avoiding food waste and getting creative in the kitchen was Grandma's specialty, which is why she knew all of the brilliant ways to use leftover chicken. Yummy! And today, boys and girls, it's our cooking time. Yes, boys and girls, all that food is getting Auntie Mary hungry. Boys and girls, I hope you enjoy your Friday. The name of our story is The Hike. Mandy was lucky as she and her mother lived with her grandparents, and she liked nothing better than to spend time with her grandfather. You see, he was always making something. She enjoyed watching, learning, and sometimes even helping him finish whatever he was doing. "Grandfather, what are you building in your workshop today?" Mandy asked. She giggled as she said, "It looks like you're playing with 2 long sticks." "Well, Mandy," he said, "I'm going to make 2 walking sticks with your help. 1 for you and 1 for me. Then I have a surprise." "All right," shrieked Mandy. "Where do I start?" After some time, Mandy, with her grandfather's help, finished the walking sticks. They were 2 of the most beautiful walking sticks she had ever seen. With the bark removed, they were sanded smooth, and each had a funny-looking face carved in them. "They're really nice," Mandy said. "But just what do we do with them?" "Ah, that is the surprise, granddaughter," he replied. "Tomorrow morning we are going on a hike in the woods, and these walking sticks will help make the hike easier. So now it's time to clean up and go to sleep, so we are all well rested for the hike." The next morning, Mandy did not need an alarm to wake her. She was up, dressed and ready to go as the sun rose and the day began. She went to the kitchen and she saw that her grandfather was busy packing sandwiches, water, snacks, and other items into their backpacks. "It looks like we are going to go on a hike for a long time," Mandy said. It will be an all-day hike, he replied. I think we have everything, so go grab your walking stick and let's go. What about breakfast? Mandy asks. Oh, did I forget to mention that we are going to stop and have breakfast at the diner? He said with a smile. Their journey began. After a great breakfast and long drive, they arrive at the basin of a mountain and the beginning of the trail. This is beautiful, Mandy said. Just where are we hiking? To the very top of the mountain, where we will have lunch, rest, maybe take a swim, and then hike back down. He replied. Swim? Mandy said excitedly. Is there a lake on the top of the mountain? Yes, her grandfather replied. There is a pond surrounded by big flat rocks. It was carved from the mountain during the last ice age, and it's filled with clear, cold water. Wow! Was all Mandy could say. As they hike up the mountain, Mandy asked many questions. What kind of tree is that? How high are we? Are there bears around here? Are there any other people up here? What do we do if we get lost? Are there snakes? And of course, are we there yet? Her grandfather answered all her questions the best he could and explained that they were in a very natural area. Not many people, all sorts of wildlife, even bears. He helped her understand and respect the natural beauty around them. The particular animals. He taught her how to use a compass and things to help them be safer while they hike. Like before, stepping over a log, putting your walking stick on the other side to let any animal, like a snake, know you're there, whilst a song or some noise to let the bigger animals know you are in their area. In a soft voice, her grandfather said, Mandy, there are a few things to remember when you are hiking, anywhere for that matter. The earth is our mother. Take care of her. All life is sacred. Treat all life with respect. Take from the earth what is needed and nothing more. Enjoy your journey but leave no tracks. As they hike a little further, the forest opened and Mandy saw the pond surrounded by large flat rocks. They had arrived and it was almost like being in a different world. Mandy picked a large rock that extended out into the water for them to rest it on. It had been warmed by the sun and was the perfect place for lunch. As her grandfather unpacked their food, she leaned over and wiggled her fingers in the cool water. Immediately, several small fish came by and nibbled at her fingers. She shrieked in surprise, realizing the fish was just curious. Place her handbag into the water and watch it as the fish darted around her fingers. She laughed and played with the fish until she heard her grandfather said, "Time for lunch." After lunch and a resting period, they took a swim. The water was deep. Mandy couldn't reach the bottom no matter how hard she tried. She giggled each time a curious fish nibbled at her body and watched it dare come down to have a drink. It was a wonderful day, and she was saddened when she heard her grandfather say, "Mandy, it's time to dry off and begin to hike down to the car." After making sure everything was just like it was when they arrived, they began their hike down the mountain. After a short time, Mandy asked, "Grandfather, can we take a different trail down the mountain?" "I don't see why not," he replied. After a short time, the trail began blending into the surrounding bush and then disappeared. "I'm scared," Mandy said. "I think we're lost." "No, we're not lost," her grandfather said. "But we are on a trail, so we will continue hiking down the mountain in the direction of the car. Just enjoy the surroundings and being together on our first hiking adventure." The end. Boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed that story, the hike, and there are a lot of things that you can do with your grandparents. But I want you to remember something from this story that Mandy's grandfather taught her. Yes, what he said, that you must respect everything we see outdoors. Yes, because that is important, boys and girls. It's very important and it is critical. And I know when we have to go out with our grandparents, it's usually lots and lots of fun. Again, just to remind you of what Mandy's grandfather said, he said, "Life is sacred. Treat all life with respect. Take from the earth what is needed, nothing more." Boys and girls, thank you for listening to our story, The Hike.
With silver hair and a heart of gold, she's young inside, however old. I see love for me in her eyes and care in her gentle smile. She's the best friend I could have. My grandmother is absolutely the best. She sits down to play with me. There's not another place she'd rather be. We go for walks along the lane and together bake cookies and cakes. She's the best friend I could have. My grandmother is absolutely the best. He tells me stories from his past. He's always there to help when I ask. Gives me a bear hug when we meet and takes me out and buys me treats. He's the best friend I could have. My grandfather is absolutely the best. He snorts and snores when he naps. He forgets his coat and his cap, but never forgets to pat my back when he feels I'm a little sad. He's truly the best friend I have. My grandfather is absolutely the best.
I hope you listened very carefully. Now you're going to do your individual activities for today. I will be back at 10:45 for stories and rhymes. Have a great activity session.
No child left behind. No child left behind. time.
We curbing poverty,
Getting it done with the use of technology. Side by side in unity, upgrading our society. Providing tools for the digital world. Teaching every boy and girl. No child left behind. No child left behind. No child left behind. No child left behind.
Welcome back to the Leading Stars ECCE program. I hope you enjoyed today's activity. Now, we're going to listen to a story. I hope you remember what to do when listening to a story. Do you remember? That's right. Listening ears. Here we go.
The name of our story is I Found a Frog. Even though I have grandchildren of my own, it seems like it was only yesterday when I returned home from school to find a frog in my bedroom. My mother chuckled when I yelled out, "I found a frog on my bed!" Now she knew that I was eventually going to find one, but she let me discover a wonder of nature that many people miss. I'm glad she did. You see, a little earlier that spring, when I was 6 years old, I saw some little black fish in a pond. Since I didn't have any pets, I went home and asked my mother if I could have one. After we talked about my catching some of the fish I saw and the responsibility of having a pet, she agreed. She gave me a bowl, told me to go catch a few, and said that while I was out, she would prepare their new home. Off I went. There were so many that they were easy to catch. I filled a bowl and ran home. When I got home, my mother had an old fish bowl filled with water sitting on the corner of my desk. She asked to see the fish. Look, and with a big smile said, "Fat Poles, whoa, you are in for a surprise." I asked what she meant, and she just said I would have to wait and see, but to watch my fish carefully. After a few weeks, I noticed some were changing. "Mom!" I yelled with excitement. "Come here. My fish are growing legs." She came into my room, looked, smiled, and told me, "Keep watching." After several weeks, there were more changes. "Mom!" I yelled with excitement. "Come here. My fish are growing front legs, and their tail is going away." She came into my room, looked, smiled, and told me to keep watching. A week or so later, when I got up, I was amazed. There were more changes. My fish didn't have tails, their legs were bigger, and they didn't look like the black fish I had caught earlier in spring. "Mom!" I yelled with excitement. "Come here. My fish are really different." She came into my room, looked, smiled, and told me that a surprise was very close. That day, when I returned home from school, is when I yelled out, "I found a frog on my bed!" "Surprise!" yelled Mom. You watch a miracle right before your eyes. A fish changed into a frog. Now you had better catch them. I don't need 50 more surprises tomorrow morning. Off I went. This is a wonderful story, boys and girls. I enjoyed it, and I hope you did as well. The name of the story is I Found a Frog. And remember, his mommy was always telling him he would see a nice miracle. She wanted him to experience the wonders of nature. And he saw his fish turned into a frog. Yes, he was seeing all the changes as they took place. Imagine coming home and finding a frog on your bed. Auntie Mary definitely don't want that surprise. Boys and girls, I really do hope you enjoyed this story. I Found a Frog. Thank you for listening. I think it's time to do the frog hop.
Okay, so that was really good. But let's do it one more time. Are you ready? Let's go. Now we're gonna be having some fun with music, rhymes, and finger plays.
Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. And eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes.
Let's try it a little faster.
Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. And eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes.
Faster?
Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. And eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Faster. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. And eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Faster. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. And eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes.
Get ready to clap your hands. Clap, clap, clap your hands. Clap your hands together. Clap, clap, clap your hands. Clap your hands together. Now let's pat our knees. Pat, pat, pat your knees. Pat your knees together. Pat, pat, pat your knees. Pat your knees together. Can you stomp your feet? Stomp, stomp, stomp your feet. Stomp your feet together. Stomp, stomp, stomp your feet. Stomp your feet together. Now let's blink our eyes. Blink, blink, blink your eyes. Blink your eyes together. Blink, blink, blink your eyes. Blink your eyes together. Get ready to wiggle your ears. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle your ears. Wiggle your ears together. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle your ears. Wiggle your ears together. Now clap your hands. Clap, clap, clap your hands. Clap your hands together. Clap, clap, clap your hands. Clap your hands together.
La 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 la.
Walking, 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 walking. Hop, hop, hop. Hop, hop, hop.
Running, 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 running. Now let's stop. Now let's stop.
Tiptoe, 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 tiptoe. Skip, skip, skip. Skip, skip, skip.
Skip.
Jumping, jumping, jumping. Jumping, jumping, jumping. Now let's stop. Now let's stop. Walking, 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 walking. Hop, hop, hop. Hop, hop, hop. Running, 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 running.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now let's stop. Now let's stop. La 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 la. Let's stop.
You listened very well. It's time for lunch. Before we eat, there's something that we must do. Who knows what it is we should do? That's right, we need to wash our hands with soap before we eat. Remember, lather your hands and wash between your fingers properly. I will be back at 12:30 for recall. Enjoy your lunch.
No child left behind. No child left behind. No child left behind. No child left behind. Make a pledge.
Support the vision.
Every child needs a proper education. We curb in crime.
We curb in poverty.
Welcome back, boys and girls, to the Leading Stars ECCE program. I hope you had a delicious lunch. We had a very fun day today. Can you remember what we did? Yes? Well, let's see.
Boys and girls, I know you had lots of fun today creating your crackers family. You had to use your cheese, carrots, celery sticks, and raisins. Oh my gosh, boys and girls, I am thinking you had so much fun with your mom and your dad making this crackers family. Were you able to create a mommy, a daddy, some cousins? Yes, an aunt, some uncles. Yes, I hope you had lots of fun doing that and you were able to recall each family type. Then you had your spray bottle activity. Yes, boys and girls, I could imagine you had lots of fun using water or even creating your spray bottle. What did you do? Yes, you had to draw members of the extended family. Yes, and then you were given the opportunity to spray out each one at a time. Did you exchange and have your mommy or have your brother or your sister spray out members of the family as well? I hope you had lots of fun doing that. I think it was a very enjoyable activity. What about your stories? Could you remember anything from your stories, boys and girls? What was the name of the story? Good job, boys and girls. The first one was The Hike, and the second one was I Found a Frog. Remember that? Yes, and what a surprise he got with that frog. He found that frog sleeping on his bed. Would you like a surprise like that, boys and girls? That's a fun surprise for a Friday. And remember the words of Grandpa, what he told Mandy. Did you remember that? I want you to remember what he said. All life is sacred. Treat all life with respect. Right, boys and girls? That is very important information. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for staying with us every day. Boys and girls, you are wonderful. Enjoy your weekend.
the way we clean our teeth, clean our teeth, clean our teeth. This is the way we clean our teeth every night and morning. This is the way we brush our hair, brush our hair, brush our hair. This is the way we brush our hair every night and morning. This is the way we have our bath, have our bath, have our bath. This is the way we have our bath every night and morning.
fun we worked and played.
Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Early in the morning. Early in the morning. Goodbye now. Goodbye now. Goodbye, teachers. Goodbye, teachers. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Early in the morning. Early in the morning. Goodbye now. Goodbye now. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Early in the morning. Early in the morning. Goodbye now. Goodbye now. Goodbye, teachers. Goodbye, teachers. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Early in the morning. Early in the morning. Goodbye now. Goodbye now.
That's it. We're finished for today. Join me again where we can have another fun-filled day of learning. Have a good afternoon, boys and girls, and stay safe.
Wash your hands, do-do-do-do-do. Wash your hands, do-do-do-do-do. Wash your hands, do-do-do-do-do. Wash your hands. Grab some soap, do-do-do-do-do. Grab some soap, do-do-do-do-do. Grab some soap, do-do-do-do-do. Grab some soap. Rub your hands, do-do-do-do-do. Rub your hands, do-do-do-do-do. Rub your hands, do-do-do-do-do. Rub your hands. Rinse your hands, do-do-do-do-do. Rinse your hands, do-do-do-do-do. Rinse your hands, do-do-do-do-do. Rinse your hands. Dry your hands, do-do-do-do-do. Dry your hands, do-do-do-do-do. Dry your hands, do-do-do-do-do. Dry your hands.
What else can we do?
Cover your sneeze, do-do-do-do-do. Cover your sneeze, do-do-do-do-do. Cover your sneeze, do-do-do-do-do. Cover your sneeze. Cough into your elbow, do-do-do-do-do. Cough into your elbow, do-do-do-do-do. Cough into your elbow, do-do-do-do-do. Cough into your elbow. Safe at last, do-do-do-do-do. Safe at last, do-do-do-do-do. Safe at last, do-do-do-do-do. Safe at last.